What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise. We got to check out this video, man. Scott Jennings once again. Scott Jennings once again, man, he just commences to put the smackdown on these smug, lost, low IQ, liberal panel members on this show. I don't understand why Abby continues to allow this man to come on the show because he steals all the shine. But we got to get into it. Like, share, subscribe. Let's go.
One of the things that's happened is that the United States has lost, like, is it $1 trillion or $11 trillion since this all began? Maybe regained a little bit of it, but has lost all of that. And not a single trade deal has been struck.
No, and the reason why they haven't been struck is because lowering the headline tariff number is the easy bit. The 90 days is now going to be dealing really with the non-tariff barriers, the rules on procurement, who can own what this and that and the other. It's difficult stuff. It's very, very difficult. But I have a question, and I'd like to address it to my dear and good friend, Mr. Jennings. This is it. Today, the president gave a 90-day moratorium. Why did he not last week, when he did his show and tell with his list, say then, this is going to be the tariffs in 90 days. Now send your best people to Washington to negotiate with me over the next 90 days. Instead, he took us over the cliff and has now pulled us back up again, and he's left chaos in his way.
It is a great question.
Because a lot of people don't understand negotiating. See, the thing is that there is no negotiation really until a number has been set. And now we can start to have a dialogue and a conversation, but somebody has to say, this is the number. And the thing is that everybody that is a good negotiator, anybody that's in sales, you know that one, you got to stand firm, and two, you got to mean business. Everybody knows that. Now, again, these people will call, the EU our friends. The people will call China our friends. The people will call, Canada, Mexico our friends, our allies. But none of these people, out of the kindness of their hearts, have come and said, you know what, we're getting over on you guys. Let's even this out and make it make sense for both sides. They hadn't done that. And with friends like that, who needs enemies? Seriously.
I think the answer that you would get from the administration is doing it this way gave him maximum leverage. It showed people that he was serious, and it showed people that this isn't for show, that if you don't deal with us, we are willing to act here. But I think the answer is leverage, simply leverage. And now he's going to be able to deal with all these other countries and continue to isolate the bad actor, which is China.
People that he's serious. I think he's shown people that he's crazy. He's mercurial. Honestly, if it was Kamala Harris behaving this way, they'd call her hormonal and hysterical, right? Look.
We'd have to get elected to be.
But, well, yes, and if she had been.
And what we know is that Kamala Harris wouldn't be doing this. She'd be, allowing our border to continue to be overran and our country to be given away, in the wave of this globalist, one world government, new world order that they would like to push us in. We know this. Kamala doesn't have the backbone, nor will her handlers allow her to do something along these lines. Are you kidding me?
Elected, and if Hillary Clinton had been elected, if any woman had been elected and been acting this way, they'd say it was menopause.
She would have never stood up to China. So I think this is a mood issue, right?
No, it's not a mood issue because his craziness and the way that he acts, and this is not in a vacuum, because it's not just the tariffs. It's the first thing he did was attack Panama, Greenland, Denmark, Canada, allies, abandon Ukraine, cozy up to Russia. It's been one thing to after another. But this is also very, very similar to what Doge has been doing, where they go in with a sledgehammer when everybody talks about needing a scalpel. With these tariffs, again, went in with a sledgehammer, caused fear, destruction, distrust, when it could have been done with a scalpel in a strategic way. That's just not the way he operates.
I don't think these Europeans understand a scalpel. I don't think China understands a scalpel. No, they understand force. They understand real leadership, strength. Now, again, these people are supposed to be our allies. They know that they've been getting over on us. They know they make a majority of their money in our country. They know that we've exported a plethora of jobs. Not one time have they said, hey, let's make this right. Let's make this a fair deal. We've gotten everything that we needed to get out of this. You're my friend. We're solid allies. We want to continue that partnership. Let's make it right. Not one time did they do this, but yet we're supposed to just be nice. Are you kidding me? That's why, honestly, do not hate me for saying this. That's why we don't need women in these positions. We need people that have leadership that are strong. We don't need people that's like, oh, we don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't need that. No, because when you go about it like that, that's when you get taken advantage of.
Administration was not on the same page. I mean, it was the narrative around these tariffs has changed so many times. First, it was, oh, it's punitive because of Mexico and Canada and fentanyl, which, by the way, a majority of the fentanyl crossing the border is from American citizens. Then it was, you know, we're going to level the playing field, and this is how we're going to pay for tax cuts. It does not show that he was serious. It shows that he was grossly unserious. And so yet again, on the heels of a signal group chat and now tariffs, we look like a national embarrassment.
Well, let me just play one thing. Let me play one thing to Tiffany's point. I mean,
so we hadn't looked like a national embarrassment when we had a lady that couldn't piece the sentence together as a vice president, cackling and laughing all the time in serious situations, who never went down to the border. Who, when she finally went, you know, overseas, I can't remember exactly which country she went to, but all she had to say about the illegal immigrants is do not come. That's it. When we've had a president walking around looking like Weekend at Bernie's for 4 years, not even working for 40% of the time, half the time he was in office didn't work. We didn't look like a daggone international embarrassment then. We ain't look weak and frail. Then miss me with all of that, man. Seriously.
The trade, honestly, the trade is asymmetrical.
And who voted for Donald Trump?
Precisely. Trade is asymmetrical with China. We imported over 439 billion products from China. We exported over 140 billion from China. Their own foreign ministry has said, we will not flinch. We will not genuflect to a bullying government. I respectfully disagree.
You, though, Tiffany, that we rely so much on an adversary to make most of our goods?
Listen, whether it bothers me or not is irrelevant. I'm dealing with
but
reality.
It's important, though.
It is important, but this is what it is.
Why does it have?
So wait, so you're okay with continuing to bend the knee to China in the name of in the name of keeping your iPhone cheaper, and in the name of them continuing to get over here? Now, she said it out her own mouth. The trade deficit between China and the United States is asymmetrical. They send way more products over here than we do over there. How do you not see that as a problem? How do you not see that as a problem? I mean, it is a full-fledged national security issue. I mean, we're literally dealing with a country who really is not an ally, but an adversary. Let's just keep it a buck, an adversary who is biding their time to take Taiwan and take full control of chip manufacturing around the world. And they'll hold that over everyone's heads, not just the United States, but the entire world's heads. And you got this lady saying, hey, I'm just looking at the reality of the situation. We finally got some leadership in the office that's willing to stand up and do something about it. And you got people like this saying, we just need to let it keep happening because China said that they're not going to bend to a bullying administration. Are you freaking kidding me? What would you call China? Seriously, what would you call them?
To be the reality that we are dependent on so many things to come out of
Because
our biggest adversary in
Yes,
the world. They are the enemy, and we should not be dependent on
But
them.
no, they are not our enemy. They're our biggest.
Yes, they are.
And if we
They've got rare earth minerals and you don't.
They're the enemy.
Right,
they have
but
more
listen,
than us.
but like it or not, sure, Michael, they are our biggest trading partner. And if we were to manufacture iPhones here, iPhones would cost $3,500. The American people are not going to tolerate that. We have one of the highest standards of working conditions here. I don't think that we can say, forget you, China. They
So it's
literally.
okay. So
But is it in
you're
our
okay.
strategic
Hold on,
interest?
sure, Michael.
Yeah,
So
go
you're
ahead, Scott.
okay. You're okay if we continue to put our own economic and national security future in the hands of our biggest enemy, because effectively they use slave labor to build stuff, and that makes it better for us. That is terrible.
I am 100%
Terrible.
not okay with that, but I'm dealing in the reality
But
of
you
what
are.
is.
Do you want to change it?
But we need to
I
change it.
absolutely
We
want
need
to change it.
That's what we're trying to
I
do.
don't know that changing it means isolating us on the global
We're not.
stage.
So what happens?
with
So
these
Tiffany,
tariffs that
if I
come
could
back from
ask,
that?
what happens if we ever have a military conflict with China and they say, you know what, we're going to put an embargo on anything shipping to the United States. We're going to stop everything. What happens then?
Exactly. Weak. That's why we don't need people like this in positions of power, because they are weak, not willing to do anything, willing to capitulate to everything. Your concern is a $3,500 iPhone. We finally got somebody willing to stand up to China, trying to get them to play fair, because they don't play fair with anyone. They rob and steal from everyone, and you're okay with it. And what we know about China is they don't understand anything but strength. You can't come weak, hat in hand. Oh, please, please, sir, would you please just be fair to us and help us? Would you please? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? This is disgusting, man.
You cannot just go and say, I like it, it's mine now. It doesn't work that way. Well, that is what they're trying to do. And in this new world order, yeah, absolutely. When they're looking at Greenland and say, I like it, I want to take it for mine, that is a very colonized.
You have said you are pro.
I have never ever said we're going to go to Greenland and quote colonize it or steal it.
You're not a member of government, so you're irrelevant at that point. I'm talking about the president of the United States doing that.
You got fired from your job.
You can agitate.
Scott, if you want to engage in personal insults,
I don't, but you do.
What you lack in a legitimate point, you make up for in personal
I don't. You
personal
do.
insults. The point I am making is in this new world order, we are looking at countries, whether or not they're an adversary or ally, it is being determined on what kind of deal we can get. And we cannot govern, we cannot legislate that way. We are increasingly isolated on the world stage.
No, we're not.
So if you want to engage in personal insults,
we're not
if I were
isolated.
you, I would reserve that for your party who is increasingly isolated. This our position
outside of the United States.
Yo, he definitely hurt her feelings. But at the same time, don't be disrespectful. You're gonna say, "Oh, your opinion is irrelevant," and you tell her, "Hey, you got fired from your job. Your opinion is irrelevant as well. If my opinion is irrelevant," and the fact that these people are willing to capitulate, and then you want to sit there and act like, "Oh, we're isolated." There's no way that the United States of America will be isolated, and the reason why is that everybody wants to get money here. China makes majority of their money here. People don't even understand that we have funded through commerce. We have funded the CCP. We have funded the Chinese military. We've helped them build their military. Think about this, man. And you got people like this that's okay with it, want to keep, the main thing. I mean, just keep doing the same things over and over again, even though it puts us at risk. Everybody's going to want to come to the table because everybody is getting money here. Majority of their revenue comes through the American economy and from the American consumer. We all know this. And the thing about Tiffany Cross, man, she lost the show because her and Angela Rye, and the other guy that they got that podcast or whatever, and they're, this colonizer and this new world order, and, the Republican Party's racist, and the white man isn't this and that, and so forth and so on. They don't have solutions. They got a lot of complaints. They'll call people, colonizers and all this other type of foolishness. They don't have anything. They're not standing on a platform that has a solid foundation. They just don't. So she got butthurt and she decided that she was going to disrespect Scott, and Scott don't play that. He gave it right back to her, and you can see the look on her face. Her feelings was hurt, and she tried to continue to talk and filibuster the conversation. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys think about these people, man. They drive me crazy, man. As you can see, I'm pretty passionate about this. This upsets me, though. This conversation, I don't know how Scott does it. I really don't. I know he makes a pretty penny, probably, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year. Just signed a new deal with them, but I don't know how he does this on a day-to-day basis. Good Lord. I know it's easy because a lot of them, their arguments typically isn't from a logical place. It's more from an emotional place. So it's easy to debate people that get really emotional, but I just don't understand how he does it, man. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, join the ARP family, or you can buy your man a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.